What's going on, guys? Nearmint Nando back after a short hiatus. Hope you guys have been good. It feels good to be back. I mentioned in my last video I went on vacation. I was away for about 10 days. Went to Europe, took a proper vacation, was really nice. But we're back now. Back to business, back to comics. I went to a local show this past weekend. It wasn't really a comic show. It was actually more of like a trading card Pokemon kind of show. It was called Miami TCG. But the only reason I found out about it was because I saw my friend Roberto, this vendor that I know that I always go see at local shows. Shout out to Roberto, by the way. He goes by Miami Trader on Instagram. Check him out if you guys happen to be in South Florida. Roberto always has great books at great prices. So he's someone I tend to kind of follow. Like, you know, if he's at a local show, I'll go check him out. But this show in particular, it was kind of a bigger show for what it was. Again, catered to more of the Pokemon and trading card kind of crowd. So for that scene, I think it was a more prominent show, and it had kind of a heftier ticket price. Like advanced tickets for Saturday when I went were $30. I wasn't really down to pay that, to be honest. And at the door they were charging 40. But I messaged Roberto and I asked him if there were going to be a few comic vendors here. He said maybe a couple, not too many. We started talking about it. You know, I said, I don't know if it's worth that $30 price tag for me. He did mention that CGC was going to be there, so I had a few books that I wanted to drop off, and that made me a little more interested. And he said to me, okay, if you agree to spend $30 at my booth, I'll give you a pass. I said, deal, right? Couldn't pass that one up. I always spend, 50 to $100 at his booth, maybe more at times. But he's always got great stuff, and Roberto's great to do business with. So if you guys are in Miami or South Florida, definitely check him out. You probably know him already if you're in the scene here. So anyway, went by Saturday, had a chance to drop off a few books with CGC, and also had a chance to check out Roberto's booth, see what he had. Flipped through a few boxes and took a few videos. So we're going to do a quick recap, and I'll show you what I ended up with.
Original book, original head, doing it like this. Yeah.
Take you to another level. Don't front. drop fame upon the ass flame.
Okay, so I showed you guys a little bit of what was at that show, or what was at Roberto's booth specifically. You know, he always has some good stuff. Hopefully you guys got an idea of what was in his boxes and what was on the wall for the most part. So, you know, I didn't really go to this show with the intention of spending too much. So I ended up picking up 3 books, all pretty inexpensive, but a good value and nice books nonetheless. So let me show you what I have here. First up, we have a Submariner 50, very, very nice copy of this book. So I've come to really like this Submariner series, mostly the early Silver Age stuff, and some of the books around 50, let's say like late 40s. Like there's I think 48 is a really great Doom cover, so I'm looking for that one. This one I found in really high grade. I took a look at this when I got home from that show, and I was super impressed with how good of condition this is in. You know, I'm even considering grading this book, considering how high grade it is. But this is a really nice early bronze white cover, great cover art, very, very sharp white cover here. Yeah, it wasn't too expensive. Wasn't expensive at all. I guess, you know, expensive or not is relative. But, you know, in this case, with these 3 books, I ended up getting a pretty good deal. And I will tell you guys about that in just a second. So the second book to go along with the 50 is a Submariner 51. Also very, very clean. Both very nice high-grade books. This one probably has a little bit less significance than the 50, which is kind of a milestone issue. I don't think either of them are really keys or anything. But actually, I take that back. 50, I think, is the first appearance of Namorita. Interesting kind of like, you know, smaller character. But anyway, this one is really cool. Very cool cover art. Very nice copy. Inexpensive book also. And just, you know, a cool minor addition to the collection. And then last but not least, we have a Moon Knight 1 in very, very high grade. This is definitely a near mint copy, maybe near mint plus. Dare we say 9.8 candidate? It's up there for sure. Roberto had like 7 copies of this book, which were all really clean. I'm guessing he got them all in the same collection. But, you know, he kind of gave me some shit for picking out the best copy in there and then trying to haggle with him for a low price, which I did. He knows me well. He knows that's kind of how I go about things. You know, I look for clean copies. And I like to negotiate, you know, that's how I operate when it comes to this. And yeah, like I told him, I said, listen, I'm always going to throw out a price. If it's too low for you, if you don't like it, you don't have to accept, of course. Tell me your price, and maybe we can, you know, find that middle ground and make a deal. So in this case, we did with all 3 of these books. I ended up paying $75 for all 3 of these together. Pretty good deal. But as far as this one, I have another copy of this book, which is probably like a very fine, maybe like a VF minus. It's nice, but it's not great. This is a great copy here. It's not a newsstand, which I'd kind of been looking for, but this one really jumped out at me. And all the copies he had were really nice. But basically with this book, you know, I remember seeing it like maybe 6-7 years ago. It was always like a $20 book. It was really common. And then values went up during the pandemic. The Moon Knight show was coming out. This book kind of blew up compared to what it was priced at previously. And, you know, I never wanted to pay like $80 to $100 for this book. I thought that was ridiculous. So now that it's back down, I had my eyes on a nice clean copy for a good price. And this was it right here. So nothing major, but happy with these minor additions to my collection. It was a nice little Saturday, you know, good chance to get out there, drop off a few books with CGC, make a few little pickups, and just kind of get back in the game after a few weeks away. So yeah, back in the game we are. I have a few more things coming up. So I'm waiting on a couple books in the mail. I'll do an unboxing video once I have both of them. And I'm also waiting on a submission back from CGC, which should be coming really soon. So stay tuned for both of those. Really appreciate all the continued support from you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this today. And if you did, of course, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Hoping to get much more content out to you consistently going forward. And thank you guys again. Appreciate all of you, and I will see you next time.